And here we are, 2026. Can you believe it? Feels like just yesterday it was 2025. Time flies. And I thought today we'd go back to 2025 and look at the best promos of the year. My favorite promos. This is a money on repeat request. He is a Patreon member and a pillar of the WrestleChop channel. So, well, here you go. We're going to start off with Cody and CM Punk in January. They did this in 2024 and they did it in 2025, where we had the two top baby faces kind of go face to face. Now, Cody was a champion here, but CM Punk was basically saying, Cody, are you all right, man? Seems like the weight of the world, heavy who wears the crown, it's weighing you down, dude. You're changing. It seemed like CM Punk was kind of like talking to Cody Rhodes the human and not Cody Rhodes the WWE superstar, and I thought that was pretty unique. But he also said, and when I win the Rumble, I'm coming after you. And I really, really like that. It gave very much a Austin Rock feel when both of them were baby faces, or even a Hogan Ultimate Warrior feel when you got two baby faces squaring up against each other. That's what it felt like, the two top baby faces, that is. Now, I'm not saying Cody and Punk are Rock Austin levels. I'm saying that's the type of vibe I got from it. Now, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to play clips of these videos because I could tell you it's because of copyright reasons, but no, honestly, you can actually play clips if it's under like 5 or 6 seconds, and you don't really risk too much of big WWE, big TKO flagging you. Well, I can't do it because I have to go to work. I have about 2 hours to produce, edit, film, upload all of this video. Plus, I no longer, I can't afford an editor anymore, so I am strapped for time. So I apologize. I hope you'll still be able to get the basic gist of why I feel what is what. But yes, hopefully, hey, you know what? If we can get this channel to take off in 2026, then I can start paying an editor again and start getting these videos better each and every time. Anyways, let's go now to, I'm doing these all off the top of my head also. Next up, Roman Reigns. Oh man, I wish they would let Roman Reigns have the microphone more. I'd rather see Roman Reigns grab the microphone more than just return, beat someone up, spear him through the barricade, and then leave. But Roman Reigns, the best promo he cut this year, it was a really good one, but it was the only time one of the only times he was able to cut loose. It's during the contract signing. And he's like, "Tay Junior." Roman Reigns was that very confident and condescending Roman that was during his tribal chief. This was the closest we got to Roman. There was also another one, actually. I forget when this happened. It was recently, though, probably in the last, I think it was when he came back to reveal that he was going to join War Games, that he beat everybody up, and then when he walked out, he cut one of those promos where there's no microphone, and he was just like, man, I'm the top of the mountain. These people, they don't know what the top of the mountain is. He cut a promo walking back, and those were my favorite. When Roman cut a promo without a microphone, and he was just really intense. Those were the only 2 times that I really saw Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, throughout the year. You know what? There was a promo that I really enjoyed. Bianca Belair and Naomi. Bianca Belair and Naomi. They actually had 2 promos that I really liked. The first one was when Naomi actually admitted guilt to pushing Jade Cargill into the car last year. But this was the year that they found it. This was after Elimination Chamber, and Jade had attacked Naomi in the chamber. When those two were at it, and Bianca was just like, tell me. And then finally Naomi was like, yes, it was me. I did it. That was the best acting I believe I've ever seen in WWE. That scene right there with the tears, with the betrayal, with everything, with the emotion, I swear to you, that could have been in any movie and people would have thought the acting was stellar. They had just good chemistry, the emotion, everything. You got sucked right into it. You knew it was Naomi, but when she admitted, the acting was so good, you were like, oh, So, like, I love it. And then when Bianca leaves crying and Naomi calls her the B word and she's yelling, Bianca, don't leave me, don't leave me. It was fantastic. The second time I liked their promo was, so Bianca, she's like injured. I guess she broke her knuckle or something at WrestleMania. And when she did that, like, she's been out. She's literally been out since WrestleMania. But she came back on one SmackDown episode. But now Naomi is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know, she is just completely off her rocker in all the best ways. In all of the best ways. She interrupts Bianca and she's like, Bianca, you haven't been returning my calls. And Bianca's like, I don't want to deal with this. Oh God, I don't want to deal with this. And Naomi proceeds to tell her, I went by your house earlier. And it's like, wait, what? You know, weird, awkward stalker. And then she proceeds to say, so nobody was home and I went inside and I looked through your pictures and stuff. I just loved that interaction right there. It was really, really good. What's next? We could talk John Cena. John Cena had an interesting year. The dude retired, wanted 220 dates, but Triple H, in all his wisdom, said, nope, 36. Yeah, sure. Whatever, Triple H. Good job. Please never make that guy Booker of the Year again. After he turned heel, now, I do not think they should have turned him heel based upon the fact they didn't have any, like, plan for his heel turn. That said, there were some gems in John Cena's heel turn. I liked when he first came out, and while I didn't buy his reasoning for turning heel because the fans had been booing him for forever now, and it's like, we stopped booing you around your U.S. title reign, John, so that's been about 10 years, so, like, I'm sorry, John, it's not gonna fly. But I did like when he called out that kid and was like, that kid right there. And then WWE cuts to that kid and he's like, he's toxic. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. And even more bonus points is after John Cena turns face, John Cena's able to apologize to that kid because the kid goes back to the show and John Cena literally goes to him. Now it was kind of a cop out where John was like, I was just having a bad day, sorry kid, but I just love that we closed that loop and it was all real because that kid wasn't like, it wasn't written for that to happen. I also liked when John Cena cut his promos against Randy Orton and he said Randy Orton was going to fail like he failed a 2009 drug test. It might not have been 2009, but he failed a drug test. The best John Cena promo, probably of the year even, was actually the pipe bomb. When John Cena basically did a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-0.75 of CM Punk's 2011 pipe bomb that CM Punk had cut on him. John Cena cut it on Punk. And like I even did a video on how similar they were and what he pulled from, but it was just a masterpiece. And that was the moment also where it seemed like John Cena was kind of like, I think John Cena, the human being, and was like recognizing that the heel turn was not working, but B, that it was like we needed to change things up. Because there's a moment where he's like, see, they know. Now, when John Cena turned babyface, I did like that promo, but it was also a cop-out promo. I like, just kayfabe-wise, it made no sense. John Cena was like, you know what? You forced me to sign this contract, but I'm glad. You're a friend. You kicked my butt, and now I realize that I've been acting like a jerk. So I'm going to be John Cena. Are you ready? Because if you want some, come get some. I was just so over the heel turn. I was glad. I didn't even, at that moment, I barely cared that it made no sense for John to flip that way. But whatever. When he actually turned babyface, I was like, yeah, buddy. I loved it because I was waiting. I've been waiting for John to be a babyface again because the heel turn wasn't really working. Becky Lynch, the best in the world, and that's not just me saying it, that's Sports Illustrated, and everybody was calling her Becky Hogan and stuff, but Becky Lynch, instead of like crashing out on people on the internet, she leaned into it. And I remember after she lost the title, she won the titles with Lyra at WrestleMania, then she lost it the next night, and then the following week, Becky cut a promo saying, you guys are saying all this stuff? Fine. You think I'm holding people down? Wait till you see what I do next. And she was like, she said that she was going to be holding everybody down, that she was the best, this, and this. And then she proceeded to build upon that character to where she is now. She's like Moody Maxine. She's just delusional in all the best ways. Every time Becky gets on the mic, it's great. She went toe to toe with CM Punk. Like, oh my gosh, when she was like slapping CM Punk, like, you felt bad for CM Punk. Even if you hated CM Punk, you kind of felt bad because he was in a no-win situation right there. He had to either look like a chump or hit a woman. And Becky knew that, and Becky just leaned into it. Like, Becky all year round was just crazy, amazing. But the two times that really stood out, I guess the CM Punk promo stood out. Her after loss tag team championship, saying how she's going to hold people down, that stood out. And then her other one that stood out was when she was face to face with Nikki Bella, and people had thrown the Nikki Bella John Cena relationship in John Cena's face a lot, and that was a go-to insult for John, and it got kind of old. But this was the first time I remember somebody throwing it into Nikki's face, and that was like an oh moment. So Becky Lynch, like, she did stellar work this year on the microphone. Let's do LA Knight. LA Knight's always great, right? He's always very consistently good on the microphone. I don't think he had enough time. And the only couple times that he really stood out to me, I remember him one time, it was after Royal Rumble, he was fighting Drew McIntyre again. He did cut a promo saying, you know, guys, it's okay to cry unless you're Drew McIntyre. He cut like this really good promo about how, don't bottle it in, guys, don't bottle it in. It's okay. However, in this instance, it's not, because it's Drew and he's a giant crybaby. And then I also remember him saying, oh yeah, I got to get all my stuff in. Yeah. And then he did his like thing. And the joke there was, when he said, I got to get all my stuff in, was there was rumors on the internet that there was a botch at the Royal Rumble, and Drew's elimination was like, it wasn't presented very well on camera, and they said the rumor was because LA Knight was trying to get all of his moves in, so there was heat on LA Knight. So then when they actually had a promo, LA Knight said, sorry, but I gotta get all my stuff in, as his verbal joust. So that was like a play on the internet right there. So that was, you know, that was kind of unique, some insider baseball, if baseball was real. Oba Femi, while there's been a lot of good promos in NXT, I was just sticking to the main roster, but he did come out one time to confront Cody Rhodes, and it wasn't so much what he said, but his presentation. He felt like a big deal. He felt like a superstar, and I really liked that. When it was all said and done, he grabbed Cody Rhodes' arm and wouldn't let Cody leave before he's had the last word. Oba Femi just he presented himself very well here. So Charlotte pretty much buried Tiffany on a split screen face to face the week prior. And Charlotte went a little off script, and Tiffany didn't know how to handle it. Well, the following week, on their road to WrestleMania, they were face to face in the ring, and Tiffany was like, I'm not going to get pushed around. And Tiffany, she laid into her. At this point, I still don't know if I should be liking this as much as I did, but she basically, you're divorced, you're going to die alone, and it was like, whoa. She totally got threw Charlotte off, plus the Chicago crowd was just in on Charlotte. Charlotte got totally rattled. I actually kind of feel bad for Charlotte, but I'm not going to lie, it was very much Jerry Springer entertaining. Crash TV. And Tiffany just destroyed her, and it built a lot of heat for their match. And I mean, there was no respect there, and that's one of the things that's been too much in WWE, too much respect. But here, absolutely zero, to the point that it was like Tiffany definitely crossed some lines, and Charlotte was so rattled. It was such a good bad promo at the same time that I absolutely loved it. All right, so let's do Braun Breaker right now. Braun Breaker had a decent year, but I don't really remember any of his promos except for one specific promo, but it was super good. It was just recently, like a couple weeks ago, he grabbed the mic, all right? And he just starts talking. And the main point of this was he looks in the camera, he says, "Hey, CM Punk, do you remember when you told me, welcome to the big leagues, let's see if you can cut a promo," or something like that? He got more and more fired up as he spoke, and he was channeling the big Papa Pump, holla if you hear me, Scotty Steiner from Chainmail Scott Steiner, the guy who walks out a tiger on Monday Nitro. He was channeling that chaotic energy that just really he was like shaking with anger. It felt like at some point the promo went from scripted to real as he just went more and more into it. He got so mad by the time he was done, he throws down the microphone and he walks away, and the Vision is just left standing there. There was a cool moment too when he throws down the microphone, it bounces. Logan Paul actually catches it, and he screams into the mic like, "Whoa!" And then he drops it. So that was kind of cool. Good on Logan for jumping on that moment. But like the way Braun Breaker did that promo, like I was convinced we were just gonna just let him on the microphone all the time. But unfortunately they keep him, I don't know, it seems like they keep trying to give him a script, and they need to stop doing that. They need to give him 5 bullet points and just let him talk. He's really good on the microphone when he doesn't have to remember what he's supposed to say. He's very chaotic, very unsanitized, and that's what the product needs right now. And when I saw that promo, it looked like Braun Breaker was ready to murder legit CM Punk, and I loved it. I loved that energy. It isn't so much what he said, but how he said it. Another person that is like that, where it's not so much what they say, but how they say it, is Asuka. Her English isn't it's not like, she's a very thick accent, but the way she presents her information or her dialogue or her lines or her promos, it's very menacing, very entertaining. You don't know what she's going to say, how she's going to say it. And then she has promos backstage where it's a pre-tape and they dub it in it's in Japanese, but then they subtitle it, and that's those are really good too. So it's like she can cut a good promo. It's just her English isn't it's sometimes it's a little difficult to understand maybe. So some wrestlers that hinders, but with Asuka and how she uses her body language to really get her points across and her menacing nature across, it really actually adds to it. It makes her very unique. So I really enjoy Asuka's promos, even though I can't really fully say, oh, this one specific promo is the one that I really like. New Day, they were consistent throughout the year. Unfortunately, they dropped the ball hard on the Big E heel turn of 2024. Well, when they turned on Big E, you got a broken neck, so what, right? That was 2024, not 2025. In 2025, the ball was dropped on them, but they are the kings of the Netflix commercials. When Netflix goes to commercial in the United States, usually the New Day get a promo. My favorite one was, I just remember Kofi Kingston saying, look at all these guys. Look at all these people. They probably have diabetes. I thought that was so funny. Honestly, I just thought that was so funny. And then Xavier Woods also cut one promo. It was on his Instagram Live while Raw was opening. He was getting a haircut or something, and he was just like, "Man, we are 11 minutes into the show and nothing has happened so far. Cody just picked up a microphone," and it was just hilarious as he was roasting Raw as it was happening. New Day just very underrated, very underrated. El Grande Americano didn't really cut any good promos in the United States, in my opinion, or in WWE, but in AAA, you have to kind of search this out. But if you search up Grande Americano in AAA, I don't know what he's saying, but whatever it is, the people love him. I love that Grande Americano is so over. He is hugely over in AAA, the WWE south of the border promotion, and he cuts a promo in Spanish. So kind of amazing stuff right there that this character did get over. I'm just so happy for Grande Americano. Here was a guy who had been exiled for 10 to 20 years and finally getting his dues coming out of retirement or exile. Penta cut one amazing promo when he first debuted against Chad Gable. I think it was the second or third Raw of the year. He cut a really good promo in the ring about how happy he was to be here. It was right after his debut match against Chad Gable. And while he went in and out of Spanish, it didn't matter because the passion that he had in his voice and how he presented himself was just so amazing that I didn't care when he was speaking Spanish. I really connected with him no matter what. It was really, really good stuff right there. I loved it. I loved Penta's debut interview after his match. Another person that I just connected with, and in this one particular moment, was Stephanie Fakir. When Stephanie won the Battle Royal and in Clash in Paris, I've been having trouble connecting with Stephanie Fakir. To me, like she's like a really good wrestler, but not her character hasn't really just screamed like, you need to like me. You need to watch me. You must see TV. Her character doesn't scream that to me. The one time, though, that I really was like, ooh, I see what people see in her was she said that wrestling was her first language. I really like that. When she said wrestling was her first language, I was like, ooh, I like this. I'm going to keep an eye on her. Unfortunately, I haven't seen much since then. I know she's learning English. I'm not, like, please believe me. I'm not saying she's a bad wrestler, okay? I'm not even saying I don't like Stephanie. I'm just saying I don't connect with her. But in that one moment, I really did. When she said wrestling is my first language. Loved that. Solo Sikoa, when he basically was cutting a promo on the Wyatts and Bo Dallas, and he invoked the name of Bray Wyatt. And I thought that was very risky, but he did it in a really good way. It was respectful, it was menacing, and it was like a tribute to Bray Wyatt. So like, I was like, that really made me like, I knew Solo Sikoa, he could be funny. He could be menacing and stuff, but that promo right there made me believe that we really should give this guy another opportunity in the actual main event. Maybe turn him babyface, because if he could cut a promo like that on such a, he had a fine line to walk down before it became cringe, and he walked it perfectly. When Naomi gave up the belt, that was a good promo. I loved when, I hated that Naomi had to give away the belt. Or give it up. But I understood why, and I'm glad and happy for Trinity Fatu that she is a mother. But when it was really sad that she was giving up the belt, she went from like Trinity Fatu back into the Naomi character, and she just cut a promo on how she was going to come back, and everybody was going to be on watch no matter what. She was just in character and saying that everybody was lucky. Everybody was lucky that she had to leave. Very happy that she didn't just, revert to Naomi, just being thankful for the fans. No, she reverted to proceed with caution, Naomi, and was still in character. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Gunther, you could say 2 promos. I do like that Gunther came out to a bunch of boos and stuff, and he didn't really have to say much. He said John Cena is a B word, or tapped out like a B word, but I don't like that they've done it like pretty much 3 times now, and that's kind of what they did with the New Day. Remember how I said they dropped the ball in the New Day? They tried to milk the heel turn so much that it lost momentum. I fear that's what they're doing with Gunther. So the first time was good, but after that, I don't know. So the jury's still out there, but if we go back to when Jey Uso won the title, or the Royal Rumble, the promo after that where Gunther's like, Jay, if you pick me, I'm going to make your life a living hell. I'm going to bully you. I'm going to destroy you. Da-da-da-da-da. I loved that Gunther. That Gunther right there. That was the last time, though, that Gunther really, like, it felt that it meant something. Because after that, Gunther pretty much cut the same promo on Pat McAfee, Goldberg, which he retired, and I'm very thankful for, and even John Cena. How I'm going to bully you, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. But when he cut it on Jey Uso right at that moment, it was like, yes, this is Gunther, so diabolical. I love Gunther. So I really liked when Gunther cut his promo on Jey Uso the first time. That program went on way too long, though. And then CM Punk is very consistently cutting decent promos, but there does seem to be like kind of I don't know, like a shadow of his 2011 self. And I get it. We all grow up and things change, or you can't have a pipe bomb every single week. I do understand that. but to me, there was only 2 times that CM Punk really was three times. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes earlier, like I said. After John Cena turned heel, CM Punk came out. It was like, Dwayne, you're a bald fraud. That was good. That was like the closest I seen to like pipe bomb 2011 CM Punk. It was really good and he was like mocking Rock. It really felt like CM Punk felt betrayed by John Cena turning heel. So I really, really did like that. And then the next time CM Punk, his promo was like, whoa, this is kind of cool, was his response to John Cena's pipe bomb. And that was when he did Punkonomics. Was it like CM Punk rapping? Yeah, some people thought it was cringe. I actually liked it. I was not expecting that. It was unique. It was something that we could never get. There's always the possibility of a pipe bomb in the wings of a CM Punk in his head. It could happen any week, anytime. But a rap battle, that was like 100% unique. If you didn't like it, I do understand. But to me, I loved it. It was different. It was funny. It was a good response. In my humble opinion. Cody Rhodes, I don't think he had any really great promos that you could sink his teeth in. I did like when he told Nick Aldis, as long as I have the belt, you work for me. That's the energy I want from Cody Rhodes. But yeah, that would probably be the most entertaining he was to me. And then, but he did one time though, on the road to WrestleMania, he was able to turn the tide. I remember John Cena had just laid into CM Punk and to Cody Rhodes. John Cena had just laid into Cody Rhodes, and it seemed like the fans were about to side with John Cena. And I was like, oh, Cody's cooked. But Cody was able to get the fans back, and that was impressive. I don't remember how he did it exactly, but he did not waver and he got the fans back. So that I was impressed there. And then I guess we can just end it with the most savage line of the entire year happened at the last SmackDown of the year. And that's when Drew McIntyre has been consistently good on the mic throughout the entire year. 2024, he was a little better with his burns, but they didn't give him much to work with in 2025. But when he told Cody Rhodes that I'm going to send you to hell, and when you're there, say hi to your dad for me. That promo was like, that was peak Drew McIntyre. That was such a savage promo. And I love that because no respect. I don't need respect. I need just claws out, teeth out, attack. And that's what Drew did. Drew made this feud interesting with that one line. Because even if you weren't Cody Rhodes, who based his whole identity on being Dusty Rhodes' kid, that would make anybody mad. That would make anybody saying your parent is in hell. Give me a break. So, like Drew McIntyre, that promo right there just cemented even further why Drew's the guy. Drew's the man. And those are your promos for 2025 that I really, really enjoyed. I'm sure I forgot one or two, so please in the comments below, maybe you can throw it out there or tell me what your top 3 promos are. And boys, girls, have yourselves a wonderful 2026. Thank you so much for your support. Goodbye.